Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Welcome to our discussion of the question, can a Muslim practice Islam and have fun? I'm Riyad Ansari, and with me are Asim al-Hakim, Salim al-Amri, and Hussein Yi. So, Asim, tell us.
Well, before I go on, because life is miserable as it is, but it's fun, it's beautiful, I think that we should take a look at the Sunnah, first of all, to compare apple to apple. And afterwards, then we can elaborate a little bit more. What do you think?
Yeah, that's about, yeah.
So, if we look at the Sunnah, we find that the Prophet ﷺ used to have fun in his life. And it was not like we do, isolate ourselves from our families and have fun. You know, it's a boys' day, or boys' night. In the States, they call it poker night. So it's only men and poker and cigars. No, the Prophet ﷺ used to have it with his family. It's reported that Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, said, I was with the Prophet ﷺ in one of the caravans or convoys or whatever, and he told and instructed the companions to proceed on. And him and I were left behind. And after the army was cleared and we could not see them, he said, Aisha, would you like to race with me? And she said, yes, I'll take up this challenge. And she said, we raced and I beat him. So the Prophet did not comment on that, subhanAllah. And a few years later, she said, after I put on some weight, it's the same incident in a different location. The Prophet ﷺ said, how about now? Would you like to race? She said, yes. I won the first time. I could easily win this time. So the Prophet raced with her, ﷺ, and he beat her. And he said, touche, this one with that one. And if you look at this form of entertainment, of pleasure, of playing, I would never expect an imam to race another imam. If I see the imam, the leader of the masjid, racing with another guy, look at this infidel. What is he doing?
What happened to him?
What's wrong with his mind? I'll never pray behind him. This guy, he's laughing. He laughs. And this means that there's something wrong in our thinking. Because our role model, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, used to not race with his companions, with his wife. And I know, out of experience, because I get a lot of calls from sisters, complaining that they are abused by their husbands. And this has nothing to do with Islam. On the contrary, the Prophet ﷺ told us that the best among you are those who are best to their wives.
I think every Muslim woman in the world has memorized that hadith.
And unfortunately, every Muslim man is trying his best to forget this hadith. And this is a big problem. So I believe that there is a big room for entertainment and for playing in a permissible way, and that does not stop you from being a good Muslim. The raw example is the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and there are lots of more examples.
Yeah, that's true. Alhamdulillah, salatu salam ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa ala. First of all, as you know, brothers and sisters, alhamdulillah, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed us with this deen, beautiful deen, which actually suits the fitrah and takes all the natural inclinations into consideration. So it is a code of life, it is. So it governs every aspect in your life. From the day in the morning you open your eyes, Islam teaches you what to do, until you go back to sleep. So throughout your day. So this is the beauty about this deen. And when the Prophet ﷺ said, فَانْتَظَرَ حَتَّى حَمَلْتُ اللَّحْمِ, the Prophet ﷺ, you see, he's teaching us something here. He said, he waited until I put on weight. And then he asked her again. He said, don't you see? Don't you see? And actually there is something, and this is a piece of advice for the sisters. Take care of your shapes and figures, honestly.
And for the brothers.
And the brothers as well.
Of course.
Okay? But because Aisha, she explained why. He said, because our food was, you know, dry bread and things, they were not fatty. Okay? So she said, don't you see me? He insisted. He said, you have to. and then, as our brother mentioned. So I'm sure that many of double quotes practicing brothers, no one did this. He took his wife to the, somewhere remotely and said, let us have fun, let us run, let us...
I usually box with my wife, but...
So, alhamdulillah, that this deen is so beautiful, so beautiful. And we want everyone to know about our deen, whether they are Muslims or non-Muslims, really. Because our role model is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he is the most successful husband. No one can be successful than the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And yes, we receive complaints from the sisters, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make all the marital lives of Muslims successful, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save them from all these marital problems. Ameen. So, for instance, I'll just give you some examples from the life of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That he's a human being. And the house of the Prophet ﷺ was not free of any of these marital issues and marital problems. For instance, that all the wives of the Prophet ﷺ, they got together and they started demanding for maintenance. And the Prophet ﷺ told them, I don't have. I don't have. And he got angry and he decided to leave the house. And he was staying in the masjid. And he told them, actually, you will not see me for 1 month. And he was staying in the masjid for 1 month. And the rumors went on through the Medina among the Sahaba that the Prophet divorced his wives. And the Prophet ﷺ came and he found Hafsa crying. Umar, radiallahu anhu. And he said to Hafsa, didn't I tell you never listen to Aisha? See what happened? Did he divorce you? She said, I don't know. He said, don't ever listen to her, because you cannot be like her. And your father is not like her father. The most beloved one to the Prophet ﷺ is Abu Bakr, and the most beloved one from among his wives, Aisha. And the Prophet ﷺ made it clear when he was asked, whom do you love most from among your wives? He said, Aisha. So much so that the Sahaba would wait to give their gifts on the day of
when he was staying
with Aisha, radiallahu anha. So after 1 month, he went back to the Prophet ﷺ. Aisha said, I was counting the days and the nights on my fingers. He said 1 month. After 29 days, he came back. And I told him the month is not over yet. The Prophet ﷺ looked at her and he said, the month can be 29 days and 30 days. And he laughed. So he is teaching us something here, that you will have this problem, but you have to cope. Imam Nasa'i mentioned another beautiful thing about Umar ibn Khattab. Every Muslim knows about Umar ibn Khattab, that when he walks in one street, the shaitan will run away. Umar ibn Khattab. And yet see how he lives with his family. So one of the Sahaba, he had, his wife is always screaming, flaring up, etc. So he went to complain to Umar radiallahu anhu. When he reached the door of Umar, he heard the voice of Umar's wife, screaming, shouting. Alhamdulillah, I'm not alone. This is happening in the house of Khalifa. So he decided to go back. Umar opened the door and said, brother, come. What is it? He said, no, there's nothing. No, tell me. So he told him. See Umar radiallahu anhu what he said. He said, Akhi, she cooks for me. She stitches my clothes. She looks after my house. She sweeps the house. And he started listing
she bears my children.
The daily chores. So if from time to time she flares up, I have to take it. So this is because they learned that from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And one day Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, he passed by Hanzala. Said, how do you feel, Hanzala? He said, I am a hypocrite. Munafiq. Nafaqa Hanzala. Said, what are you saying? He said, Akhi, we would be in the circle of the Prophet ﷺ telling us about Jannah and Nar, heaven and hell, as if we are seeing it. And our hearts are trembling. Our souls are flying. The moment we go to our homes and sit with our children, we forget that. He said, if you call that hypocrisy, I have the same problem. Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu.
Makes two of us.
So let us go to the Prophet ﷺ. And they complained to him. And he told them, where you stay or remain on the same status, that means that status of Iman, the angels would have come and shake hands with you in your beds. ولكن ساعة والساعة. But from time to time, you see, this is happening. That's why the belief of Ahlul Sunnah, Iman goes up and goes down. But some people, this hour and an hour, 1 hour like this, they meant now 1 hour in haram. No, the halal entertainment.
That's why the hadith is ساعة لقلبك, 1 hour for your heart and your entertainment, and ساعة لربك, and 1 hour for your Lord. So the ساعة now is divided into ساعة for your Lord and ساعة for your Satan. This is what the people are actually doing nowadays. So there are lots of halal ways of doing and having entertainment, either alone or with the family. But if we would like to explore a bit more.
Well, I think there's still some other examples from the... there's some famous story about the Sahaba tossing a water.
Yeah, exactly. You see the Sahaba, radiyallahu alayhim, they would eat the melon, watermelon, and when they finish the kernel, only the peels or the skins remain. They would start, throwing each other with this. And subhanallah, Abu Hurairah would start just laughing until sometimes he would fall on the floor. And the Prophet ﷺ himself, he was also teaching us that we have to be, humorous and hilarious. Yes. One day a woman came to him, an old lady, and she said, "Oh, Prophet of Allah, pray for me, so I will enter the Jannah." Told her, "Old woman, they don't enter the Jannah." And the poor lady started,
Weeping.
Weeping. He said, no, because you are going to be
young again.
He didn't say anything wrong, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Also, when he said to the other lady, "Are you the wife of that man who has whiteness in his eye?" She said, "I don't know, O Prophet of Allah, to be honest." So she went to her husband, "Let me see. You have any whiteness?" He said, "What is wrong with you? Every human being has whiteness in his eyes." So see how the Prophet ﷺ was, entertaining the Sahaba, but within the...
Also, the Prophet ﷺ was once asked by one of his companions for a camel so that he would go in the side of Allah to join the battle defending Islam. So he said, "No, I'll give you a son of a camel." He said, "Prophet of Allah, what would I do with the son of a camel?" He said, what is a son of a camel? Is a camel himself. So something that was born of a camel is definitely a camel. And that's why the companions complained in a sense, or objected. They said, "Oh, Prophet of Allah, you joke with us. You're a prophet, you're a messenger, yet you joke with us. Isn't this a little bit weird?" He said, "No, I joke with you, but I never say a lie. I never lie. All what I joke with is authentic and it is accepted." Like the time he came to one of his companions and he embraced him from behind and said, "Who will buy this slave?"
Slave, yeah.
He didn't lie. He is a slave of Allah. And likewise, this kind of humor and joking is acceptable providing one does not lie. Because if you lie, then you are in a dubious area and this might lead to something that is not permissible.
That's true. And actually, when we read the literature, the Islamic literature, there are many books written by the ulama on this particular topics and how the scholars, they were, cracking jokes and all these things. But of course, within the framework of the Sharia, alhamdulillah.
So nowadays, we have so many kinds of entertainment, maybe have some objectionable elements to them. So what's left? The classic situation that we face with our children especially is that they want to do this, and we say, "Can't do that, sorry." "How about this?" "Well, sorry, can't do that." So what kind of things can our children do that are fun but lawful?
I believe that in order to make the circle a little bit narrower, we should identify the things we're not supposed to do. And then,
apart from that,
everything is okay.
Exactly, yes.
Do you agree?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for example, I believe that anything that involves a sin is not permissible. So listening to music is not permissible. For men, for boys, watching women is not permissible. Wasting the majority of your time Even if this is a permissible thing, but wasting the majority of your time, and which may lead to neglecting a prayer or engaging your thoughts while praying in the thing that you were doing before that, also is not permissible.
Or create hatred sometimes.
Okay, that's
How
good.
do you mean? What do you
In
mean?
games, see, sometimes people, they don't have that spirit of sport, as they call it. Yeah, and we can see it today. People, they end up fighting, killing each other.
I mean, this is everywhere now. You see these the spectators at soccer matches, football matches.
Because that is, they went to the extreme, you know.
Because soccer is for suckers.
Well, it seems like, I mean, for some people it's a culture where, I mean, the match is sort of a sideshow to the real reason why they're there, which is to drink and fight.
Yes, this is the hooligans and so on. But if I am not wrong, Allah Azza wa Jal justifies making intoxicants and gambling haram, because as it says in the Quran, إِنَّمَا يُرِيدُ الشَّيْطَانُ أَن يُوقِعَ بَيْنَكُمُ الْعَدَاوَةَ وَالْبَغْضَاءَ فِي الْخَمْرِ وَالْمَيْسِرِ. The main reason for Satan to throw enmity and hatred in your heart is through gambling and intoxicants. So if anything leads to the same effect, it takes the same hukum, same verdict. To an extent, it has to be clear cut. But anywhere you compete, there has to be an amount of, not hatred, but of competition. Otherwise, if I compete with you and I say, no, you go ahead. You be.
No, competition should be there.
You race me, I'll make you number one. Then the soul of the competition is not there anymore.
Should be a healthy competition.
Yes.
The competition should be there, no doubt. But I mean, when we come to this area, for instance, the martial art and all these things, we should try to keep these martial arts fixed or remain within the framework of the Sharia. If there is something that goes against the Sharia, then we say, sorry, this cannot be. For instance, when the Prophet ﷺ, he wrestled, because in Arabia, there was a famous wrestler in Arabia. So he came to the Prophet ﷺ and he said, if you put me down, I'll become Muslim. He said, fine, no problem, come. So the Prophet ﷺ just took him like that and put him down. No, give me a second chance. He said, come. Give me the third. Again. Said, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah. This is the Prophet of Islam, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. See? So we need actually, brothers and sisters, to study Islam. You will enjoy it. It is so beautiful. Whatever you want. We have many things we can give to others as well. So the beauty of this deen, that, for instance, everything, one of the fundamentals of the rulings of the Sharia, al-aslu fil ashya'il ibaha. This is one of the principles of the Sharia. The basic and the fundamental rule that everything is permissible. Everything.
Unless.
Of course, unless it is mentioned otherwise in the Quran or in the Sunnah. So for instance, if someone comes to me and says, brother, this fruit is haram. Why? What is the evidence? So no, you produce the evidence. Tell him, no, sorry, akhi. My deen says everything is
halal,
halal for me. So you have to produce the evidence. That's why the halal, you cannot limit it. But everything is halal. And the harams items, you can count them on your hand. So this is the beauty, that everything is permissible for you. Unless it goes against something stated clearly in the Shara and the law, then we say, no, we cannot do this.
If you wish, we could go on and mention a few halal things that are applicable nowadays.
Right.
For example, one of the means and ways of utilizing your time is by doing something that is good for your body and your soul. So this adds lots of value because you're utilizing your time in something that is useful. I believe Sheikh Hussein is a martial art expert and he's been doing so many things in this field. So what do you recommend, Sheikh Hussein?
No, I think we all agree that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did say in the Quran, إِنَّمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا لَعِبٌ وَلَهْوٌ وَزِينَةٌ. Now, based on this ayah, we know that Allah Himself said that indeed the world, this world, according to Sunnatullah, is without of life. I mean, there's a lot of game, plays. That's why you see when any newborn baby, what they do, children, they just play. That is their fitrah. You don't call them to go and, even when they are praying, they are playing.
And we go down with them and to play with them, with the children.
So that is their fitrah. Only Islam gives us a better guidance that if you want to entertain your children in playing with toys, you must be very careful. Don't teach them to use certain toy that can bring harm to themselves or to others, because there is a guideline in Islam. The Prophet said, La dara wa la diral. A Muslim always know whatever game they want to play, they always be very selective. It's like, don't teach your children to play with sword and start to fight with each other and fight with their parent. You know, it's not healthy, because later on they thought fighting with your parent, your sibling is common. Don't buy them gun and go and shoot somebody from very young, and then later on you shoot your father, and the father don't fall. Say, hey, father, you're not dead. No, then the father pretend, okay, I'm shot now, I'm dead now. Then you stand up again. So this kind of game is very destructive, because you are training the children to fight with you from a very young age. But you can give them all the kind of toys that is very constructive, you know, that can help them to develop their IQ, you know, very educational kind of game. Because that is the fitrah of children, life. And then you come to the second level, the lahwi, then that's where the entertainment come in. Everybody is exposed to that. I'm sure that me, myself, when I was young, of course, we do everything. At that time, we are not a Muslim, then, of course, everything goes. So now we are Muslim, we know now we are more selective. What kind of entertainment that do not bring any harm to us, neither will cause any harm to others or any discomfort for others. So Islam, the deen of Islam is so beautiful that when you want to do something, you do not just do it for the fun of doing it. Make sure that it benefits you. It benefits you, and also not only thinking about yourself. You must think that, do it benefit others? Or when it benefits you, disturb others, it's not good. So when we look into that, then we believe the Prophet himself encouraged his ummah to involve in archery, swimming, horse riding. All these are very healthy kind of games, sports, you know, that really can make you a better person. And you are fit, and then when you are healthy, your body is healthy, you have a healthy mind, inshallah. This is what people used to say, a healthy mind came from healthy body. And also you see that in the Prophet saying, Al-mu'min qawiyun khayrun wa habba in Allah min al-mu'min da'if. A strong Muslim is always loved by Allah more than just another Muslim. We are two Muslims, but one is strong and healthy, and one is Muslim, but he's weak, very passive. We hope that, inshallah, the Muslim always are very positive, looking towards all these healthy kind of games. Like if you want to go into further detail about, if you want to be strong, maybe now there's a lot of arts going on. In Malaysia, the Malay art you call the Silat. In China, you got the Shaolin, the Kung Fu going on. And maybe you have the Tai Chi also for the elders. If they cannot do any hard kind of exercise, you can still make some kind of Tai Chi for some kind of for fitness and energy build. It builds some energy in you. Of course, what is important is we hope that whatever kind of games or entertainment you involve, make sure that that kind of exercise or that kind of entertainment do not go against the Sharia, like what we have agreed upon.
Okay.
Anything going Sharia, we say, what can we do?
Such as beating the face, for example.
Yeah, beating the face.
This is forbidden in Islam.
So as like
So
sometimes
boxing, for instance.
Boxing,
can
yes.
be a problem.
This is
not even like you're playing self-defense arts and so on. You have the male among the male, the female, they want to play among the female, they have their own female. The example, the sister want to do some aerobic classes. Why not? Keep themselves fit, and they want to dance, the rock, it's up to them, between themselves. As long as they're in their own room, they can do something to make them healthy. They can socialize among themselves for something that they can bring some benefit to their body, to their health. It's not that Islam is so rigid. Oh, no, nothing. You just go to the mosque, pray, recite the Quran, finish. Make zikr. No, even the Prophet and the companion, they are very active people. You see, so Islam is a practical religion. It covers everything that you need in your life. This is what is very important for the Muslim to understand, so that even our youths, Yeah, mashallah, you see, now they are involved in karate or taekwondo from Japan and all these things. You can entertain all this kind of sport because it is very healthy and it do not contradict with Islam.
It teaches you to defend yourself in case you're attacked also.
Of course, you need to. You got to be strong because as a Muslim, you are supposed to help others, to protect the weak and the poor and the needy. Now, how can you protect them when you are weak?
Needs to be protected.
You need to be protected. That's why the Prophet said, "Al-mu'min qawiyun khayrun wa habba Allah min da'if." So what we need the Muslim to understand that don't think that Islam is just praying, fasting, zikr, hajj and umrah. Even you want to go to hajj, you need to be fit because there are a lot of walking, movement, tawaf, sa'i and all these things. So I always encourage, even back home in my country, I encourage my students.
Let me just interrupt here.
Yeah.
In one of the years we were in the Hajj, and it was summer really. And there was no AC. This was many years back. And one man is sitting like this. The Arabs, they have something, they cross their legs. We call it hubwa.
Yeah.
And the Prophet ﷺ used to do that. And every one of us was, spraying water with this on his face. And one young man next to him. So one of the brothers said, "Okay, you want to?" I said, "You young people really are useless." He said, and mashallah, his body and everything. And he said, "See, look, this is my son. See, breathless." Okay, subhanallah. Yeah, because people, they walk and, yes. Get on it, brother.
Yeah.
If I may ask, what do you do in your spare time? You're a big sheikh, you're a big da'iyah. Do you have any time for entertainment?
Yeah, I always...
It's a personal question but I couldn't help myself asking.
I know what the Prophet reminds us, وَلِنَفْسِكَ عَلَيْكَ حَقٍّ. Even yourself have right upon you. You cannot just do everything for people, you forget about yourself. You still have certain right. Now, I always make time. Because time is, Allah have given us one day, one night. To our calculation, 24 hours is enough. It's more than enough. Yeah, so only we abuse time. Most of the time we abuse our time. I always find time, inshallah. Either in the morning or in the evening, do some jogging, mountain climbing,
Inshallah.
Then I go for my Tai Chi exercise, and then I do for some weightlifting. Almost everything I get involved in.
You have time for da'wah as well?
Alhamdulillah.
Inshallah.
That's why da'wah I always fix. All my da'wah program, all my classes, I make sure that it'll be ongoing.
MashaAllah.
But in the same time, I always find time for my body. I think it is only right for me to do that. If I can say that I'm zulm to my own body. I believe that this is the healthy, when you understand Islam as a way of life, not just ibadah mahdah, but as a way of life, then I believe that we will be very balanced.
And I believe this does not contradict with ibadah, because if you're doing it with the good intention, it becomes ibadah by itself. And I saw you last night in the gym. MashaAllah, he's working out, he's doing these stretches. I thought, I better stay away from Sheikh Hussein. He's putting one leg there and one leg there. How's he going to put them back again? But MashaAllah, he's quite fit. I have to give that to him, MashaAllah.
MashaAllah.
But one thing again, what I do always, you see, Islam is a way of life. Now, wherever I go, I'll grab the opportunity to do da'wah. What I do in my gym, sometimes I mix with the people who are not yet Muslim. I'll talk to them about Islam. Because sometimes I say, I need to pray now, find a corner and pray. Even I go to any gym in my country. When I join any gym, I said, I want to pray. How? Do they have a room? They said, of course, we don't have a room. But do you have any place that is, that I can perform my prayer? Okay, I'm a Muslim. I'm not ashamed to tell them I'm Muslim. Alhamdulillah, they start to learn. And the people who know that I'm a Muslim now, they start to ask questions when I'm cycling. They come, alhamdulillah. There are people that through the gym contact, they become Muslim, alhamdulillah. But sometimes there are certain art that is very dangerous, that we forget, self-defense, whether in silat, in the Malay kind of art, also in taekwondo, they coex. Most of the people, they are not careful about their ikhtilat. They coex. That means male and female may have free sparring sometimes. And this is the kind of thing that the Muslim must be careful. Sometimes we forgot. We tend to forget all the ruling after we join certain activity. We thought that, okay, we join karate. Okay, it's
for
not
the spirit of sports.
Haram.
For the spirit
sport.
of sport.
The spirit of sport, but we forget that there is a do and don't when the male and female is
course,
concerned.
yes, yes.
But a lot of people are not aware about that.
The bowing and
You see,
ruku.
it's very important for them
Meeting.
to understand. So we believe, inshallah, if everybody, like what our Salim Amri said, if we know the Sharia properly, we have the foundation, then inshallah we know how to move around. The problem today, majority of the Muslims who like to get involved in all this entertainment, fun, game, they do not know the
No
Sharia.
borders, no limits.
Order. They want to play game, they forget about the aura. Example,
Yes, it's a very
the aura, sometimes. Why, if you say bodybuilding, I have a lot of friends who involved in bodybuilding. I say, Alhamdulillah, I'm envy with your body, with the muscular and all. But though, when you go for competition, bodybuilder competition, what you wear like a Superman,
No, Superman had pantyhose. They don't even wear them.
At least Superman is better than you, because Superman, why we call him Superman, why we call ourselves normal man? Because Superman wear underwear outside, you see. Normal man wear underwear inside. That's the difference between
That's a good definition.
Superman and normal man. But this is something that people forget, because under the name of sport, they think it's okay. They are wrong. It's like the woman going for fashion shows. No.
Exposing the aura is a very, very big problem.
Allah.
People tend to think that it's okay if it's man to man, it's okay to expose the thighs.
No.
And they think if it's a woman to woman, it's okay to show the cleavages, the backs, the thighs, and the miniskirts. And they don't know that this is a aura, and it's not even acceptable between the same sex. So how about if it's mixed sex as happens? You're right. So are there any other means of
yes, there are many
entertainment?
things, alhamdulillah.
Sheikh Riyadh, how do you spend your spare time?
Well, we have a swimming pool in our condo, so I like to go swimming. My main exercise is actually just walking.
And it just crossed my mind. Does entertainment necessarily have to be playing? Can't I find my entertainment in reading and doing some woodwork and something useful? Or is it only limited in playing sports and whatever?
Yeah, of course. This is something that my daughter, she really likes drawing. So we've got her in a class where she does building pots out of clay. She really enjoys that. And my wife found this lady who does, she paints boxes. She does these flower
Decorations.
designs and stuff like that. She does very nice work. She doesn't teach children, but for some reason, she let my daughter, who's 10 years old, attend her class for grown-up women. And
That's good.
She praised her work. The teacher is a Malay lady, so one of my wife's friends takes my daughter to class. And so the teacher, when she did her first work, she spoke about her in Malay to the other lady so that she wouldn't get a puffed head,
But she felt it.
My wife's friend told my wife, this is what she said about her. So, these kind of things. I used to do art a lot before I was a Muslim, but it was all figurative drawing.
Okay.
And after Islam, I used to do some kind of things with decorative boxes and things like that. But I haven't had time for it for so long.
But it feels good when you are engaged in these things.
Activities.
It relieves a lot of the stress.
Definitely.
And gives you more incentive to go on.
This is something, that I remember when I was in high school, we used to have this one day a week. They would have this 2 hours in the afternoon, 3 hours where you could just do anything you wanted.
Free activity.
Free activity. And so I always used to go down to the pottery lab, and they have this, the spinning wheel,
Play,
Yeah, and, there's this whole concept of, it's a kind of a meditation, because you have to get the clay centered on the wheel. If it's not centered, the pot will not
look weird.
Right,
Will not spin.
and so that whole concept of centering, it's a kind of a concentration, I never got very good at it,
That figures.
I couldn't get centered.
What about extreme sports? Now, we can talk about chess and billiards, and these are soft things. But what about the hardcore? What about, bungee jumping? Or parachuting or gliding,
Hang
no, or racing, Formula One racing. These are entertaining, but the risk factor is quite high. So what do you think? Does Islam permits this, or it depends on the pros and cons? You have to see and evaluate.
I believe that it is permissible because to get involved in that kind of activity, you got to be prepared. You got to have some kind of basic training. One thing is good with this kind of sports, like through sometimes we also go for other kind of activities, is to train ourselves to overcome fear. This is important because a lot of people have phobia with fear. Oh, height. Oh, this no. So we said no. You must overcome. Of course, there is a training of Aqidah again.
ولا تلقوا بأيديكم إلى التهلكة. Do not throw yourself.
Of course, if you are not prepared, don't go for it. It's very dangerous.
I don't think I'm going to ever be prepared to do this, tying my ankle to an elastic rope, and then I see the ground is coming at 200 miles per hour, and it's going to stop. It's going to stop. It's a bang.
That's why all this
End of
kind of
story.
thing, not anybody
Sometimes
can just participate.
It's not quite tied on. I mean, I've seen a situation.
See, this is why it's dangerous, and you have to evaluate. Does Islam permit this extreme, or you can attack your fear, face your fear in places that does not expose you to danger? Parachuting is, the risk is minimum if you have the proper training and the proper equipment.
Yeah.
But
it's just like diving.
yes, diving, if you dive in scuba diving in a swimming pool is different than when diving with white sharks next to you, or barracudas, or whatever.
They say that the shark is not the killer. The human kill more sharks than the shark kill a human.
Tell that to the shark when you meet it next time. I don't think it goes well with them.
But I think we need to add something that about the martial arts.
Right.
So I think one should pick the particular sport that suits the nature. So sisters should pick something that will not affect their femininity.
Aikido.
Okay. So things, because your real sister, I'm talking to the sisters, honestly. Your real asset is to remain feminine.
No.
Because the husband doesn't want to have him, his wife with muscles. No. He doesn't want that. Okay, so...
Except the muscle man.
I don't think so. Because I'm sure many of you that have seen, those who are...
Yeah.
Because that is in other places, or non-Muslims. Because they put that, they fooled actually the women, and they put that seed. Yet you are equal to the man. And you have to do whatever the man. So they go for bodybuilding and all that stuff. So she's not a woman anymore. Where is that real...
And if I may comment, where I come from, there is a very great misconception that women should not do sports. And this is wrong. Women must not do sports like men do.
Yeah.
Women must not undress and get dressed in places that are dubious. You're not sure if the people running stops a woman from losing fat, from walking, from playing table tennis, from playing volleyball with other women in a secure and conservative place. This is Islamic. Rather than letting them spend their time on the internet, browsing pages that you and I know what's in it, or spend 6 or 7 hours on the phone, or in the marketplace just going round and round in circles, let them do something to loosen up some of the fat. And the rate of obesity in the Arab world where I come from is humongous. It's a lot. So we should allow them to do something, and we should provide them with the Islamic facilities.
No, that's very important.
And again, our children face the same problem.
Yeah.
Now, my children usually tell me, can we go this place, like Sheikh Riyadh just mentioned. I said, no. Why? Because there's mixing. Okay, can we go to that place? No. Why? Because of music. And at the end of the day, can we stay home? No. Why? You didn't do your homework. So, they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. And if we do not provide them with proper alternatives, we have a problem in our hands. And this is why all the Muslim organizations, the brothers and the sisters should collaborate and give proper alternatives that would utilize their time intellectually and physically.
Yeah.
But to say, it's very easy to sit back, and say, oh, this is haram, this is haram, this is haram, and then what? Then there's no one left, or nothing left for them to do except to do haram, proper haram.
I remember once I attended an Eid Salat when I was in the U.S. in Hagerstown, Maryland. And there was a group of young high school students. They attended the Salat, and they came from about 50 miles away. They were in a boarding school in Pennsylvania. And their school actually arranged, they requested and the school accommodated them. They drove them down. And so I asked one of them, he was from Ireland. He was like from an Indian, Pakistani background, but from Dublin. So I said, teenagers, usually they're not interested in these kind of things. How come you people are? So he said, well, when I was growing up, the masjid, the Islamic Center in Dublin, they had a basketball court as part of the
activity,
the center, and we just go down there and shoot ball, and then when it was time for prayer, they'd call us in for prayer. And so their hearts became accommodated to the masjid and making salat, and they associated the masjid with good times.
This is the way to treat the youth. I know masjids where people come, where I come from in Saudi Arabia, you get guys, young chaps coming into the masjid with ponytail and with trousers, low waist, and what's happening, and they come in to pray.
Alhamdulillah.
And you find people from inside the mosque saying, "What are you doing here? Why are you dressed like this? Get out, dress properly, come."
Old people.
This is so frustrating because the guy is coming to pray to Allah. It's not your house. It's not my house. So let him pray. Let him feel at home. And 3-4 months down the road, tell him it's proper to have a dress code like the Muslims in a nice way. But to turn him off in this manner, and this Dublin mosque is a clear example of how you can put the seed of the love of Islam in the hearts of the youth.
I was in London last few months for the camping, for the Badr camp. Then I visit one of the mosques, mashallah. The mosque is equipped with a gym. Allahu Akbar, was so happy to see that a mosque, and then the gym is just down, and then up is the mosque. This is something that we miss actually in the other area. But what the most important thing I would like to remind all the brothers and sisters who are active in any kind of activities, outdoor activities or entertainment, please make sure that whatever you do not contradict the aqidah. The first thing important, there are certain activity may even destroy your aqidah. Such as certain self-defense, certain arts.
Yogas.
Like in yoga sometimes, or not all yoga. Some yoga just for stretching, breathing. It's still okay, but sometimes they go deeper. They want you to focus in something, under something. And then the same go to some Malay arts, in a country.
Some now they call it art of life or living or something like that.
Yeah, they have many forms now. Yeah. And then they have this Malay silat, kind of silat. Sometimes they recite a lot of things to all the spirit and so on. And this is the area they must know, their limit. It starts with good exercise, but it has an impact to the aqidah. So make sure that you don't go against your aqidah, and also don't go against the sharia that has been laid out by Allah and our Prophet ﷺ. Inshallah, you can carry on with all the other activities.
Jazakumullah khair. Thank you for your time. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.